Hey guys, we just made it to Iceland. We just flew from Bergen, Norway. It was about 2 hours, 30 minutes. Super excited. It's raining outside, very cold. And so here we are. We're staying our first night in Iceland at this really fancy hotel called the Edition. And they gave us some chocolates. We ate them already because we're starving. But tomorrow we're going to start our road trip. So tonight we're going to try to treat ourselves. We have a lot to explore here, so we'll see you along the way. We decided to use our hotel credit at the hotel bar and ended up getting a really fancy, yummy dinner before heading to bed to get ready for the road trip. I am standing at the entrance of our camper van. There's a kitchen. This is where we're gonna sleep. The kitchen's back there. There's a heater in here. And it's quite big. It's actually 4x4, so we can ride through the rockiness of Iceland. Look how spacious it is in here. The van is so cozy. I love it. I want one. First stop was the grocery store to pick up some camping food since the van has a cooler, and we got some really good stuff. Then we did an amazing hike to a thermal hot spring river. OMG guys, it was cloudy, rainy, windy, and cold, but when I say this was so relaxing and amazing, I mean it. I have never experienced this before, and I couldn't believe it. I was so happy. Obviously, the way back down, soaking and freezing in the rain wasn't the best, but the next day we were back out on the road. This day is jam-packed, so hold on tight. The first stop was Seljalandsfoss, located just off the side of the road. This amazing waterfall is very popular, as it should be because it's magnificent. We walked behind it and got so wet from the spray because it's just that powerful. We continued down a path to find Gludrafabui waterfall, which is inside a small cave. It is equally majestic. Next, we went to hike Skogafoss and took a path that led us to a multitude of small waterfalls and beautiful green canyons. I mean, this hike was packed full of waterfalls, left and right. This hike took a long time. We ended up doing 6 miles or about 9.5 kilometers, and it was around this time that the weather cleared up and I was overjoyed. We even saw this heavenly waterfall with a rainbow going through it. Skogafoss was truly a dream come true. Same day, different hike, we went on a mission to find puffins and got amazing views of the ocean and a peek to some lava rock formations and of course, the puffins. Just hanging out on the sea cliffs, this is the time of year they come to land and lay their eggs, so we got really lucky. I could watch them all day, they're so adorable. The last hike we did was to the famous Black Sand Beach. This place is interesting because it's from millions of years ago. Lava flowed here, cooling quickly, creating these giant basalt columns and volcanic rock sand. Beyond that, there are these caves with just crazy rock formations, a masterpiece of nature that only time and harsh weather creates. Finally, we drove off the beaten path through the mountains to a hidden oasis where we camped for the night. Bright and early, we embarked on our one hike of the day, which took us 5 hours. The weather was still clear and sunny, so I was so happy to be outside. We hiked through beautiful streams and canyons, leading up to a magnificent glacier. I felt so blessed to see one in real life. I hope they don't melt away forever. I was shocked how the ice made me feel so tiny. We walked up to the viewpoint and stopped for a snack, taking in the scenery before we headed back down. We finally ended in a beautiful field of flowers. We had some cheesy pasta for dinner and then crashed in our cozy van. There were some really cool hikes nearby. We did one to Svartifoss and it was honestly magical. After that, we headed to Diamond Beach and wow, it was unreal. The ice literally meets the ocean on this black sand beach, and we even saw some seals playing in the water. We took a little walk over to Glacier Lagoon, where these massive glacier chunks break off and float toward the sea. Some even end up pushed onto the beach. Later, we checked out this fake Viking village. I think it was built for a movie that never happened. I'm not too sure, but it had all kinds of cool stuff to mess around with. even a full-size ship. We set up camp not too far from there and tried playing a bit of frisbee to wrap up the day. Next morning, we woke up to a sunny, beautiful day. Those are honestly my favorite. We went on another hike to see a majestic waterfall. Actually, we saw 2 on this trek, but the second one was small but super powerful. We got right up close and enjoyed getting splashed a bit. Further down the road, we saw a bunch of people swimming, so we pulled over to check it out. Turned out to be local families just enjoying the river, jumping off a bridge into the water. It looked fun, but not really our vibe, so we went to Vok baths to relax. They're geothermal pools, actually the only ones in East Iceland, and if you're feeling brave, you can even jump into the cold lake right next to them to cool off. We left early in the morning and drove for hours through nothingness until we reached a super hidden but magical hot spring. Even though the wind was insane, getting into that water felt unreal. Right across the road, there was a trail that took us to a giant canyon. I didn't catch the name though. We were so high that the river below looked like a muddy puddle. It got me super excited for the next canyon, Studlagill Canyon, home to the tallest basalt columns in Iceland. We hiked through green fields and made our way down into the canyon. Guys, no joke, it felt like another planet. The green-blue water and just stared at the colors. I have never seen anything like it in my life. These columns, made from crystallized lava, were massive. We wrapped up the day exhausted, but happy. The next day, our first stop was Dedifoss, supposedly the most powerful waterfall in Europe. You could literally see the mist from kilometers away. And the closer we got, the more blown away we were. It was insane. Then we went to Selfoss, which we thought would be a little smaller, but no, it was also huge. Standing at the edge, I could feel my heart start to race a little bit faster. The way back was all dirt roads, so we blasted music and just had the best time driving through the dust. Final stop, we went to Husavik, which is that little cute town from the Eurovision movie with Will Ferrell. It was such a beautiful day, nice and warm, that we treated ourselves to some locally made chocolate ice cream. We ended that day at this dreamy campsite. Honestly, it felt unreal. The perfect, relaxing way to finish the day. We stayed up late to watch the sunset at midnight, and I'm so glad we did. In the morning, we did a hike that started at a cave called Grochitaja. We didn't touch the water, but I believe this is a thermal cave. We then made our way to Hydrofall volcano crater with the sun beaming down on us. We got up there and walked the entire circumference of the crater. On our way into town, we stopped really quickly to check out Godafoss, which was yet another stunning waterfall. We ended up finding a tiny pool on the side of the road that overlooks Arkujärvi. The water wasn't as warm as the other thermals we have been to, but we still got all the way in and sat there for about 15 minutes enjoying the view and the nature. It was really incredible. As we made it to camp, the weather began to get colder. We woke up late the next morning, so we got on the road and stopped off to make some brunch, which was very, very delicious. We got out and went on an afternoon walk to see what used to be an execution site, with the last one taking place in 1830. It was sad because it was a young girl who was killed and the government put her head on a stake. But the mood was lightened when I saw this majestic Icelandic horse. We then drove to see a shipwreck across the sea, and there was so much seaweed. Shortly afterwards, we made it to a town called Stykkishólmur, which turned out to be very adorable and also a shooting place for an awesome movie called The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. We did a hike up to a lighthouse to get some really gorgeous views of the ocean and the town below. Such a fun way to finish the day before heading to camp. In the morning, we found ourselves hiking through a huge field of lava rocks that meet the ocean. I believe they are usually covered by the sea. That's what it looks like. Then we drove over to hike the famous Landringer Sea Cliffs. People also call this formation the Rock Castle. It looks like a volcano crater that has been eroded by the sea over time. I really wanted to do a nearby hike to see a rock bridge formation, but it turned out to be a long and wet walk. For our last day road tripping, we decided to go to a very popular spot where you can see the North American tectonic plate and the Eurasian tectonic plate meet. At one point, you literally walk in between them. I thought it was fascinating, and we got a nice view of the national park below. Before leaving, we stopped to see this waterfall. Then I was really excited to go see the Stroker geyser. Walking up, you can see the steam coming up from the earth and even water splashing and boiling below. This is extremely hot water. The geyser erupts every 5 minutes or so you are guaranteed to get a view of the water blasting off. Then we made a quick stop at Gullfoss. It was very crowded, so we just opted to go to the viewpoint and then turn back around to avoid the large crowds. Since we had some extra time, we went to check out this incredible crater lake. I can't believe we almost skipped it. It turned out to be my favorite hike of the day. I was in love with all the different colors. On the way to camp, I stopped to say hi to some horses because they were just so cute. We woke up to our very last day in Iceland and I was feeling a little sentimental. We wanted to treat ourselves to something special after hiking 60 plus miles in Iceland, so we booked a spot at the Blue Lagoon. The Blue Lagoon is a wonder of the world, located in the middle of a lava field. There was actually a volcanic eruption here, so I'm really glad we were still able to go. The water is a milky blue because of the silica in the water and the algae. They're both amazing for your skin with a lot of collagen and different minerals. And to add to that, you get a face mask with the ticket, so my skin was loving it. We literally stayed there all day until it was finally time to catch our flight. Hey guys, so we are just finishing up in Iceland and I have to say it has really been a dream come true here. Like, we had such an awesome adventure doing so many different things and seeing all these amazing different natural wonders. I'm so grateful we got to come to Iceland and I'm looking forward to coming back here in the future. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I really hope you like this video. I know it's a little bit longer, but we did spend a long time here. We'll see you guys on the next one. Bye!